students, welcome to another English lesson. Today we continue on the theme of a hard day's work, and we will be learning how to write a job application letter. Before we go to the main topic of today, let's take a look at how we can ace that job interview or whatever scholarship interview that you're aiming for. Let's check it out.
What makes you think you're qualified for this job?
Oh! Stop punching me! Please! Stop me!
Not that fish.
Don't touch me! Keep it out! Don't throw me out!
Nice.
Here it is, huh? Get it?
What do you think about that? Next time you have a job interview, get a few of your friends together to help you out by beating themselves up. So next, we will head on over to the main topic of today. When writing a job application letter, you want the reader to think you would be good at the job. You introduce yourself in your letter, and you include relevant information like your related qualifications that are related to the job that you're applying for, work experience, hobbies, and interests. Which is relevant for a server job. In Malaysia, we call servers waiters or waitresses. In the US, they have a gender-neutral word for it. So when we talk about relevance, there's so much information that you can write about yourself. And if you want the person who reads your letter to think that you are a great candidate for the job, you need to choose the information that will make you stand out in a good way. And it has to be information that's relevant rather than like,
saya tak cukup satu kesurat ni. Isi saja, hantam saja apa-apa maklumat.
then the reader will be like,
What is this person trying to say? So much irrelevant information in that letter. Throw it away. I'm not gonna accept this person.
okay, so we have to choose very carefully which information we include. Which one of these do you think is relevant for this job as a server? What about the first one here, age? Is this relevant for a server job? In my opinion, age doesn't matter because old or young people can do this job. What about your family? Do you want to write about your family in a job application letter? I don't think writing about your family is relevant. What about where I am studying? I guess if you want to introduce yourself, let's say you're a student, it might be good to include where you're studying. Where I live, yeah, this one is relevant because if you live close by, your manager will know that you won't be late. Your scooter driving license, is this relevant? I don't think it is unless you're applying for like a Grab driver or Grab food driver job. My qualifications, for example, Cambridge English. Yes, this one might be relevant. Let's say it's a fancy restaurant and they want you to speak English. So if you can prove that your English is good, yeah, that's relevant. Sports medals. I don't think the sports medals are relevant. I worked in a cafe last summer. Is this relevant information? Yes, this is very relevant because this shows that you have experience. My father works in a hotel. Nope, this is not relevant because your father works in a hotel doesn't mean that it will help you be a better server at the restaurant. Your hobbies, example, cooking. Maybe because you can explain it in this way. Because your hobby is cooking, you know how to explain the food and flavors and the good stuff about everything that's on the menu. Chatting with friends on my computer, is this relevant to the job? I would say it's not relevant unless you are applying for some kind of a social media work, which is not the case here. The type of friends I have, is this relevant? No, it's not relevant. Unless you're some kind of influencer and you'll be able to bring hundreds of people to the restaurant every day, then yeah, put that in there. Now let's look at what hobbies and experience show about you. So I've got 6 examples here. Let's play matchy-matchy with what they show, which is on the right side. Number 1. I was on the school committee for 2 years. Which one of these does that one show? You were on a school committee and it's for 2 years. Probably means that you're good at working with people. That's a B, because school committee is made out of other people and you have to learn how to work with them properly. And it probably also means that you're a good organizer. That's F, because you have to help the school to organize many events. Now let's look at number 2. I worked in a bookshop during the holidays. Which one does that show about you? So you're at a bookshop and it's during the holidays. It's probably a busy season. So let's say A, you are good at working under pressure because there's so many people trying to get your help. You can say that it shows that you can work under pressure. And if you're dealing with people, like recommending stuff and trying to sell books to the customers, then you're probably B as well, good at working with people. So B. If you handle the cashier at the bookshop, then you are also good with money. That's an E. You need to also be polite and helpful. So if you've worked at a bookshop, that shows that you're polite and helpful as well. Let's look at number 3. I helped my parents on their large farm. Which one of these does that show about you? So it's a large farm. It probably shows that you can do hard physical work. So that's C. Now let's look at number 4. I did babysitting at the weekends. Which one of these does it show about you? So you're babysitting. It shows that you're good at working with people because kids can be very difficult to work with. So that's a B. And it also shows D. You're good with young children. Let's look at number 5. I was captain of the sports team for 2 years. Which one of these does that show about you? So you're captain, and it's a sports team. You've done it for 2 years. So it's A, you can work under pressure, because we all know that if you're at a competition, there's a lot of pressure to perform right there. And because you're the captain of the team, we all know that you're probably good at working with people. So that's a B. And if you're a captain, you have to help as well with organizing the team. So you're a good organizer. That's a F. Now let's look at 6. I worked in a cafe during the busy tourist season. Which one of these does that show about you? So you worked in a cafe and it was busy. So A applies because you can work under pressure. That means that the cafe was very busy, but you were able to keep your cool and serve the customers properly. And if you're working at a cafe, you deal with customers every day, so it also shows that you're good at working with people. So that's a B. And if you do handle the cashier as well, you are good with money. So that's E. And yeah, if you work with people, also you gotta be polite and helpful. So that's a G. So when you write a job application letter, keep in mind that the information that you share shows something about you. There's a lot of isi tersirat that the reader will read and assume about you. So always choose the most relevant, always choose the best information, your best experiences to showcase the best qualities that you have in yourself. Next, let's look at an example letter. And it's based on this question. You have seen this advertisement for a summer job. Summer shop assistants needed for our new arts and crafts shop. You need to be good at working with people, have some knowledge of arts and crafts, be able to work during the busy tourist season in July and August, write saying why you would be suitable for the job to Jessica Brown, manager, The Art of Craft, High Street, Oxford. So let's see, what are the keywords here? It's a summer job and it's a summer shop assistant job at an arts and crafts shop. You need to be good with people. You need to have knowledge of arts and crafts. And you need to be able to work in July and August. And the manager is male or female? It's female, so you have to use the proper salutation when you address her. A good one would be Miss Jessica Brown. So based on that question, this is an example job application letter. So if you remember from the question, the manager is female, so that's why you use madam here. And if you know the name of the person, you write down the name of the person. Like Miss Jessica Brown. When you do this, it shows that you've done your research and you're addressing it to the appropriate person. I am writing to apply for the position of summer shop assistant, which I saw advertised recently on the internet. In your first paragraph, you write two things. One, what position you're applying for, and two, where you saw the advertisement. Just like in this example here. Next, I am a 16-year-old student at Melway High School, specializing in languages for my final exams. I have certificates at intermediate level in English and German, and I have also been learning Italian for the last year. At the weekends, I currently work as a cashier at a local supermarket. So this person is introducing themselves. There is the age, where this person is studying, and also the relevant qualifications like certificates in English, German, Italian, and also relevant work experience. So this person is a cashier at a supermarket. In my spare time, I organize a local club where we design and build our own model airplanes, which we fly in competitions. Painting is another of my hobbies, and two of my pictures were chosen for an art exhibition in London last year. So this paragraph addresses the requirements of the job. First requirement is you need to be good at working with people. And so he says that he organizes a local club and they do stuff for competitions. And the next one, you need to have some knowledge about arts and crafts. So painting. Next, I would enjoy working full-time in your shop during the school holidays because I am very interested in arts and crafts. My experience of shop work and my knowledge of languages would, I believe, be useful, especially with summer visitors from abroad. This person is again in this paragraph addressing the requirements of the job and selling himself as an ideal candidate because number one, he's very interested in arts and crafts. If you're interested in what you're doing, you would do it better. And also he's talking about being available during the school holidays, which is the summer, which is perfect because that's the third requirement. And again, he says that he has experience with working at a shop. That will help, and also he has knowledge with languages, so it can help with visitors from abroad. He knows very well who the clientele of the shop is, and they probably have a lot of international customers, and so his knowledge of all these languages, English, German, Italian, would be able to help him be an excellent candidate for the job. I look forward to your reply. Yours faithfully, Jack Green. Yeah, that's how you end your letter. All right, so after this, I'm going to be showing you the question that you have to answer, and you can always come back, take a look at this one as an example if you need to. Write a letter. You have seen this advertisement for a job. Winter holiday shop assistants needed for 2 weeks at our large sports shop. You need to be good at working with people, have some knowledge of a variety of sports, be able to work over the New Year period. Write saying why you would be suitable for the job to Mary Swan, Manager, Sports World, High Street, Cambridge. It doesn't say where you've seen this advertisement, so you can just be creative. You can say from the internet or Job Street or from the newspaper. This is a winter holiday shop assistant job for 2 weeks at a large sports shop. You need to be good at working with people. So in your letter, you have to write examples in your life of working with people and working with people successfully. And also you need to have some knowledge of a variety of sports. So in your letter, you have to write about experiences in your life where you've exposed yourself to a variety of sports. Need to be able to work over the New Year period. So make sure that you say that you can work over the New Year period in your letter. And you are addressing it to Mary Swan. And this is a female, so must marry Swan because you already know who's the hiring manager that's going to read your letter, and it will be very, very good for you to put her name down there. Next, let's look at a sample plan to help you plan your letter. So in your first paragraph, you state your reason for writing and where you saw the advertisement for the job. In paragraph 2, you write about the details of your study, relevant qualifications for your job, or work experience. Paragraph 3, write about relevant interests and achievements that help you to address the 3 requirements of the job. Paragraph 4, say why you are suitable for the job and that you are able to work over New Year. And finally, try not to start every sentence with I. What do I mean by that? Let's go over to the example and take a look at how this person tries to avoid starting every sentence with I. This job application letter is all about you, right? It's very hard to avoid writing I's. If you start every sentence with I this, I that, it'll be very boring. So how does this person do it? Let's highlight every instance of I in this essay. I, I, There are a lot of I's. So let's see how this example here tries to avoid doing that. In this part here, he writes at the weekends before the I. So this makes it a little bit more interesting. You have the time marker at the beginning. You can also do this in my spare time. And it also prevents you from starting every sentence with an I. You can also connect it to the previous sentence using conjunctions like because and. And so these are some simple ways that you can avoid starting every sentence with an I. It's understandable if you start most of your sentences with an I, but if you can, try to avoid doing it by altering your sentence structure a little bit or adding conjunctions to combine sentences together and make it less obvious. Here's a language bank to help you get started. And for formal letters, you start the letter with a dear sir or madam, and then you end it with yours faithfully. Or you can also end it with yours sincerely. If you know the name of the person, address the person directly. Dear Mr., Mrs., Ms, and family name. Or the full name. End your letter with I look forward to your reply or I look forward to hearing from you. If you want to write a thank you at the end, you can as well. When you talk about your experiences, you can use these time markers to show more information about that experience. So if it's a recent one, you can say recently. If it's something that you're still doing right now, you can say currently. If it's something from last year, you can say during last year. Or you can say for the last 2 years, if it's something that you've been doing on and off continuously for the last 2 years. Or if it's something that you do on the weekends, you can say at the weekends. To show that you're good with working with people, you can talk about shop or cafe work experience. You can talk about being a member of a team or a club. You can talk about being a trainer or organizer of something. You can also talk about being on a committee. To show that you have experience with a variety of sports, you can talk about all these sports, whatever sports, and these are some examples. Water skiing, surfing, rock climbing, hiking, canoeing, sailing, skiing, snowboarding, football, rugby, athletics, or gymnastics. Anything that's relevant to you, and it can be something that's not even on this list. Alright, I guess you're ready now to head on over to Google Forms. That's where you submit your job application letter. For my students, I will be grading and I will be giving you feedback on your letters. And if you're a student of another teacher, your teacher will do that for you. Let's go zorbing! What is zorbing? Maybe it's got something to do with this gigantic ball-like thing here. I guess you'll have to go to the next lesson to find out.